Can you paint a picture of what your relationship with yourself and with your husband was like at that time?
Yeah, so before we started working together, there was an opportunity for me to review some things in my life around hormones and just feeling better inside of menopause. And so I was on a journey, a mental and physical journey with that. So that's important for me to note. And I was feeling fantastic, and then all of a sudden I really wasn't. And inside of that had an impact on a number of things in my life, but it amplified a few areas that I had not put a lens on. So my confidence, I mean, I enjoy fashion, I enjoy looking professional, I enjoy all those things. And I always knew I didn't take a compliment well, or my relationship with John was great, but intimacy was choreographed. It wasn't easy necessarily, and that some of that had to do with I couldn't be with conversations about my beauty or that those types of things. And so just before we started working together, there was like a world that kind of came together where I got to see that I really wasn't connected to my feminine self, to my own beauty, let alone anything to do with my relationship. And so we were distant, and there was busyness at work and things that took the spaces, and everything sort of um, felt like drudgery, putting in the time, being exhausted, not feeling beautiful, valued, honored as myself for myself. So all those things came right into the course, full
Yeah.
tilt.
Working together for the 12 weeks. What happened? What changed or opened for you that you noticed as a result, as an outcome?
Yeah, one of the funny things, like funny, unusual things, I think to note is, I came into the course looking at the issue of the marriage and the intimacy. And of course, where we started was the relationship with ourselves. And I really didn't know how much I didn't really want to go there until we went to go there, right? And so there was a great deal of like personal resistance. So I was really committed to the homework, and I was very grateful for like the reflection sheets that we did and the group work that we had in our pods and those things that allowed me to work through the I don't want to do this type of thing by just examining the questions and being able to be free in a discovery that was about me. um, and what showed up in the first many weeks was just a grounding of who I really am for myself that had disappeared inside of all the other things of work and menopause and emotions and burnout, like the whole thing. And that gave me freedom then to be able to get a little bit more comfortable with me being me. And I started to release my need to control my world and started to settle in to what I enjoy about my world and what I enjoy about myself and what I enjoy about the woman I am and the woman I choose to be, not the woman that is thrust upon you somewhere inside of a conversation of your life. And that brought a lot of joy. Like, put simply, that it brought a lot of joy. That allowed me to interrupt things with my husband. And when I say interrupt things, it was just like the routine. It's like, wow, we just do this because we do this. Let's interrupt this. Let's not have the dog sit between us on the couch when we read a book. You sit over there, I sit over here. Like, what if we held hands? Wait a minute, what if I looked in your eyes as we sit here? What if we pause? And those small things made tremendous difference in connection. And because I could be with it, because I was comfortable in my skin again, I could look into someone else's eyes.
Beautiful.
and connect was fantastic. Yes. And then I think as that progressed throughout the course, things just became more juicy and more intimate and more easy. And my confidence and in my comfort in myself just became more of a freedom than the constraint.
Mm.
I think life happens, and oftentimes as women and women who have professional careers or many obligations and parents and children, and we forget, right? And so I think the reminder, that interruption that was caused, not only in my relationship, was caused with how I view myself. I think that is a new place.
Mhm.
Who she is was an old comforting place, and then now inserting her into this new woman that I am now and looking into the future. So I think the biggest takeaways, a couple of them. So one is the interruption of the ordinary. So when I notice it, because I've noticed it before, so I can see it almost right away, I can feel the disconnection with John, and I can almost always put it back to myself first and say, okay, am I loving myself? Have I been affirming who I am? If I look in the mirror, can I be with myself this week? Is there something going on? And for me, is it hormonal? Is it sleep? Is it like the whole world I got? But it takes a minute to have that thought now,
Mhm.
just a minute, and then to recalibrate from my commitment from that. So that's the first thing that's great.
So, if you were speaking with, what would you say to a woman who's considering doing this program for herself? What would you want to say to her?
Well, I would definitely encourage any woman to do this program for herself. I think what I say to you is give yourself a gift of time and reflection and consideration to create the future that you want to be, no matter where you are in that future. I think as women, we don't I didn't give myself that gift. My friends in circle don't give themselves that gift. So I'm going to assert that many women don't give themselves that gift. And then we become burnt out and dissatisfied in life. And I just don't want that for anyone. So if 12 weeks of your life is available, or 16 weeks, or whatever the course might be, Kim, as you go ahead and do it, I would say be prepared to be surprised and delighted, because it's not about fixing and changing, really is about discovering what's already in there that's just dying to come out.